the President, Dr. Thokozani khupe, the Vice President, Mr. Honorable Obed Gutu, Chairman, Bebe. The list is quite long, and I know that you had to brave the rains, so I think I will stop at there and say all protocols observed. I'm also aware that we've got people from other parties, esteemed colleagues. Let me recognize you. I would like to recognize those from the different stakeholders whom I probably am not aware of. But in a special way, I do want to mention the Women's League, because I think sometimes we tend to be forgotten. All the women who are here, can I please salute you? And in another special way, the youth who are here, I'm very, very, very appreciative of your attendance here. Yes, I really want to recognize you, because some parties abuse the youth, but here I see an engaged youth. The President was very right to actually recognize the women who have been voted. I want to reciprocate by calling forward all the men who have been voted with the women to come and stand with me here. I would like to recognize them. If you can come and stand with me, all of you. On behalf of these men, I want you to get it from me, and when I'm done with my speech, I think you will know that it takes a man to share a stage with a woman like me. It means you are real men. I want to emphasize that real men have come to MDC-T and have seen that here you are real men. Real men are not afraid of firebrands. They are not afraid of powerful women. So on behalf of everybody, we would not have been saying we've chosen Khupe today if you men had not put the national agenda in front and loved this nation and looked for a leader and not for a gender. So I want to thank you from the depth of my heart as the one leading institutions of women in the whole of the SADC region, that on behalf of all of us women, we want to assure you, when you put us in power, we put you in power. Because women, we give birth to all of you. Nobody would be here without us. Nobody would be here without us. So rest assured, you are very safe. In Khupe, you have a person who leads from the third space. That is the space of the we, not the space of the I. So thank you so much for what you've done, gentlemen. I'm very, very impressed. And actually, you look more manly than those wimps who are afraid of us strong women. Thank you. I'm going to start my speech by saying, Semadzimai emuZimbabwe tak mirira zvaka. Semadzimai emuZimbabwe takamiri zvakanaka. Kurema kwazvo kunoda madzimai. Kurema kwazvo kunoda madzimai. Hazvina mhosva kana zorema, takamiri zvakanaka. Hazvina mhosva kana zorema, takamirira zvakanaka. O kurema kwazvo kunoda madzimai. Kurema kwazvo kunoda madzimai. Thank you very much. That song is dedicated to all the women leaders in this country, regardless of party that you are. I think, as you can see, I'm not a stranger to Zimbabwe. I've grown up here, 20 years in this country. In fact, there's a time when I became such a thorn in the flesh to the president in my country, he actually deported me to here. He said he had never seen such madness. He thought I should be from somewhere else. I said, no, I'm Malawian. I'm just the kind of Malawian who stands on her ground. And the reason is simple. If there's something I took from Zimbabwe, it is to stand up for what you believe in. I want to start off by expressing my condolence for the loss of Comrade Morgan Tsvangirai. I'm not going to belabor, but trust me, my entry into politics came from leading the academic freedom struggle as a union president. So I'm very well aware of leaders born from the labor movement. And I'm happy that today I'm also addressing a leader born from the same crucible. So I want to say on behalf of the continent, and I would say the whole world, we mourn with you. You've lost a person who contributed a lot. We also know that whatever he did not do it alone. It was with you. So we are offering condolences to the right place. Secondly, I want to thank you for inviting me just after we've buried Winnie Mandela, whom I call a mountain warrior. For me, I speak openly here to say she was not just a firebrand, but a woman who gave people like me not only permission, but the formula to stand up and fight injustice, even when most around you are actively and openly betraying and pushing you down, hating you for your strength and courage, expecting you to apologize for being a strong woman. Winnie Mandela, a mountain has fallen, a warrior has crossed over to the ancestor world. We will not forget you. I also want to thank you for inviting me at a time when I myself am facing challenges of constitutionalism. I'm very, very grateful that I've come here to see the product of a leader born out of a constitutional process. Not someone concocted in someone's house or with some friends. A politician is supposed to be a product of the people, not a figment of someone's imagination. Neither should someone be a product of power relations or a decision to say, I've decided that I'm going to be your president. There's nothing like that. MDC is not kitchen property. This is not something that someone can just decide, I'm going to lead. Anyone who does that is belittling you, the people of MDC-T. Anybody who does that is infantilizing you as the owners of this party. Your leaders are your servants. You produce them. They are not your bosses. And if any of us ever think we are bigger than you, we have no place, no moral place to be called whatever position. I want to make it very, very clear. To me, I am addressing from the podium, but to tell you the truth, you are the bosses. If MDC-T gets into government, it will be because of you. The ideals that we stand for, I'm not going to take very long, are very simple. Today, we are presenting Thokozani Khupe as president. I want you to understand, she embodies you. In other words, anybody who questions this process is questioning you. So be your own policeman of your constitution. Hold that person accountable and tell them, which part of my membership are you questioning? Thokozani Khupe is just a habija. You are the owners. So, I want to present to you today that after you sat down and discussed, you presented Thokozani Khupe. And for us women, I come from a country that produced the first woman leader in the SADC region, Dr. Joyce Banda. And one mistake, she was being treated like she has killed, I don't know how many people and buried. And people will tell you, you know, she was not a good leader, so we will never vote for a woman. There is a weird thing in this continent, and I would say globally. One woman In fact, a woman makes one mistake. It is said to be applying to all women. It's unfair. It's wrong. Right now, the whole world called America is being ruled by someone who has made mistakes more than I can count. If you talk about Donald Trump, I don't even know what he's going to do next. But I've never heard anyone say it means men must never rule the country. No. So what I ask of you, judge Thokozani khupe the way you judge every leader. Do not expect her to do what is impossible. And remember, she will fight with the energy that you give her yourselves. She is going to throw the punches depending on the strength that you give her. If you are quiet, because remember she's your servant, do not say, if it was so and so. No, she is your product, and she will embody the force with which you load in her. And one problem with democracy is not easy, cheap, or simple. Democracy demands active citizenship. Please attend meetings and give her direction instead of you expecting her to guess what you want. Structures of MDC, be very clear. What is your position? This is not a personal property. She has taken the oath to defend the constitution of MDC-T, but the owners of MDC-T must be active in what you want. Participate. Don't just say, sometimes you don't even know what she said, and you hear people say, have you heard what she said? And you judge just like that. Take responsibility. What I want to really say is, constitutionalism is the reason why I came all the way from Malawi. Because I would not come here if I was going to be taken to someone's kitchen or someone's bedroom or someone's golf club or whatever. I came here where the members are. Why is it important? There is no nation that can develop when the leader and the party cannot even follow its own rules. It can never happen. It is the same as saying we are going to play football and then you put the rules of tennis. You can't win. And the question would be, why are you playing tennis when you're supposed to be playing football? The reason is simple. Leaders who cannot respect their own constitution, they will never respect the Republican constitution. As simple as all that. Leaders that cannot respect the voice of the people, because the reason why the constitution is here, this is where you people who are not sitting here speak. That's where you lecture us to say, this is how we choose positions, this is what we say about this, this is the process, this is the end. A Congress is where the members read the Riot Act to the what? To the leadership. Now, if the leadership leaves the rules, the question is why? The simple answer is for personal gain. It is either for corruption or for ethnicity reasons or because they want to oppress a certain vulnerable group or profit from what's going on. I stand here to say constitutionalism is the only formula for Africa and any country to develop globally. And the reason is this is where the voiceless speak. Anybody who breaks the constitution is telling me that I can go to a party and start running it according to dictatorial tendencies. Simple. The next, they are going to tell companies what to do. They will be telling everybody what to do. And all what it means, simply, is that anyone, and I'm saying this to the whole nation of Zimbabwe, if you see a political leader who can put aside what his people told him or told her and decide to make a political party a personal property, you have got a problem. Fire that person before they even go. Fire them on the spot. And if we don't deal with this at intra-party level, you are going to put into power someone who will take you years longer than the 30-something we struggled. That's what will happen. Because they will have started to break the rule of law right at party level, and they would have set a precedent, and they'll go ahead with it. And for me, I now speak to you. Anyone who is going to question this process will have to answer to us women of this region, because the simple issue is it because it's Thokozani khupe is a woman that someone thinks they can just walk in here and say, no, you are not chosen? Is that it? Now, in my language, we say, if you mess with a woman, we normally wear what we call a Zambia, achitenje. In my language, we call it isalu. When we remove that, we are cursing you. And honestly, when African women get angry, we are not beautiful. So, anybody who comes to question the constitutional process that has produced Thokozani khupe, tell them that they are not only answering to MDC-T, they will have to answer to the women's movement of the whole SADC region. Because our question is this a democracy that sees gender? Would they do this if it was a fellow man? Would they do this if it was someone else? If it was someone coming from a region that is of dominant people? Would they do that? So for us, Zimbabwe is supposed to be for all of us. And we have followed the rules. Thokozani khupe has followed the rules and come as a product of the people. If someone wants to question that, go to the people who have produced her, not to anybody else. Go and ask them, now you people, how were you voting? And they will answer you. What in Taba faz? What in Taba faz? I know that in this continent, people have never seen women who take a feminist approach to politics. You are looking at one woman who does not apologize for being a woman. I, for one, if there is creation again, I don't want to be a man. I'm fine the way I am. I am very happy, and the goodness is I also have men who are not afraid of me, so I'm all right. It's not like I'll be single forever. There are some men here, right? Yeah. So there is no need for us to lie. We are now entering a political landscape where being a woman is not a crime. Coming from an ethnic minority should not be a crime. Actually, being poor and not having money should not be a crime. A human rights framework to democracy. One that says if you compete in a race and you win following the rules, which is what we call a constitution, right? You must be allowed to reign, all right? So on behalf of the women of this nation and of the region, I want to repeat, I have come here, chair of the SADC Regional Parliamentary Women's Caucus. I'm also chairing my own caucus back home. I have faced treason. I have been petrol-bombed. I have survived poisoning. And much more important, I have actually survived childbirth. Nothing can be tougher than giving birth, people. That I want to make clear, all right? Oh, yes. And anybody who has given birth knows that the real pain comes just before the child is born, right? On behalf of all those positions of motherhood and all the positions that I am, I want to tell you today, I'm very proud of MDC-T as a party. You have demonstrated that in you, leadership is not about gender. Leadership is about earning trust of the people to be their servant and to serve them. You have chosen a person who has got institutional memory of your party, and she has the battle scars for being an MDC-T person. You have also chosen a person who has gone through your constitutional process. And anyone else outside, remind them, not so fast. We are the people, and we shall not be put down, okay? Constitutions are the rules that people want to be governed by. Without adherence to them, the members' voices cannot be heard, even on policies and on development. Non-conformity to party constitution leads to parallel structures. It leads to personalized groups, cliques. The members of the party will now start hero worshipping leaders and declaring and looking down on people. I want to end right at the end. I had quite a long speech, but I believe politics should not become boring. You should leave the stage when people are still listening. Yeah, yeah, you should leave the stage when they're still listening. So, and I'm a teacher, so being a teacher, I always read my audience. Yeah, I hold a PhD in comparative literature, so for me, whenever I'm on the stage, it's like a classroom, all right? So let me wrap up. I will passionately thank you for having put a woman in power, but much more important, when your vice president was speaking, I wanted to, get up and do my African dance to say, there is a warrior who understands that I'm here to support a position, my president. I want to appeal that let us not fuel divisions between them. Let us not divide the two. Remember, this is an office. We are looking at the president's office. And sometimes it's us, the party, that benefits from dividing them. Let's unite them and understand that in unity there is strength. Let's not fight to share parts of an animal which we have not slaughtered yet. You have not gotten into government. Don't start sharing positions and saying whatever before you have slaughtered the animal. Let's unite as a party, work. Everyone is important. Nobody can stand alone here. And much more important, I now want to address the leadership itself. Madam President, your Vice President, these people you are seeing seated on this side, they might look quiet now. They might look useless now. But let me assure you, these are your bosses. You lose these people, you die a natural death. Pick up their cause when they want to talk to you. Sit down with them at funerals. Be with them in the good and the bad. I know it gets tiring, but what they are looking for is someone who is with them all the time. And I know as a unionist that if you are with them, they will never leave you. And as long as you are with them, nobody can conquer you. Nobody. So to me, the office of the president, remember, your bosses are these ones. Never ever forget who is your boss. And your boss is the delegate. That one who doesn't even have shoes. The one who is walking and doesn't know your name. But you meet them on the street. Those of you who are here saying we have been voted, my friends, you have just committed suicide. This is a big job. Don't even waste your time smiling. You have got nothing. In no time, you can't even spell your name. You are so busy. But you know why they've put you there? They trust you. Okay? So, MDC-T, wishing you all the best. Time is really finished. I want to ask the president to come in front as I officially thank you for your nomination. And since I'm talking about, yes, I was going to say your vice should be on the other side. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. MDC-T, you gathered today, and these are the people whom you chose. Choosing is one thing, supporting is another. Please support them. And your support starts from now when you get out. Remember, votes are actually dependent on public opinion. When you talk to people, tell them how good they are. Tell them how much you trust them. Sell them. Don't be the first one to say, hey, I don't even know what happened. Can you imagine? They chose so and so. Remember, if you are stripping them naked, you are stripping yourself. These are your products. And today, I want you to make a commitment that from today until we go to the votes, each of you can pick 100 people whom you have told about these people. If each of you can pick 100 people to support them, you are almost there. But I want to warn one thing. If there are problems, come back to another constitutional process to talk about them. You don't say your problems to other parties. In my language, we say, cover them. When there are problems, cover them. If your parent is not sitting properly, you don't call people and say, come and see, come and see. No. What you do is you what? You cover. And what I want is you should be the first people to say, we have got able leaders and we are going into government. We have national leaders. This is not a party of one group. We have got people from all over. We are 50-50 sensitive. We are gender sensitive. We are developmental. Yourselves, not these. Getting into government will not be done by them. These are your servants. It is up to you. Please, everybody, go and convert those who are not on your side. And remember, don't waste time preaching to the converted. Go and get the ones who are not on your side. And especially the youth, you are the largest voters. Support President Khupe. Support her and sell her to the youth. Support your VP. Do not participate in de-emasculating him. Because this is the danger. We have said he's a real man. Don't go out there and say, hey, at least they've got a man who is a vice. You have got leaders. In our African language, you'll notice, leader is not gendered. Where leader is gendered is in the British colonial language. In our own language, a leader is a leader, whether you are transgender or you are whatever, it doesn't matter. A chief is a chief. It's a person, simple. I wish MDC-T very well as you push your torchbearer. But remember, the day you vote is very far away. The work starts now. If you are winning this election, you start today, not tomorrow. If you are going to win, you starting today. The minute you get out, when they call this off, the job starts. And it is about telling people how democratic this is, how much you own this process. The enemy is the other one. Don't be your own enemies. Thank you very much for me to come. I present to you two very able people, and I'm looking forward, after the results are announced, that unfortunately I can't even get a ministerial position here, right? I'm just joking. But thank you so much. I'm very honored. I will say, by no woman, no cry, right? No woman, no cry. Don't feel sorry for yourself. So we are in the hands of a woman. You are very safe with us. You are very safe with us. When you are in woman leadership, you are talking about job creation, water, electricity, delivery. You are talking about equity, because we know what it is to be spoken for and to be forgotten. So when you talk about woman leadership, you are talking about the only solution to development. Without women, you cannot reach anywhere. Thank you. No apologies. Congratulations, MDC-T. I was remembering your slogan, but I don't want to get into the ginger thing because I'll end up in trouble. MDC-T oye! MDC-T oye! Makhupe oye! Makhupe oye! Thank you very much for listening.